The movie begins in Derry, Maine, October 1988. A young boy, Bill Denbrough, carefully folds a paper boat for his little brother, Georgie. Together, they proudly name it the SS Georgie. After a warm hug between the brothers, Georgie rushes out into the pouring rain. He places the boat in the rushing water along the curb and chases it as it glides down the flooded street. Laughter fills the air until the boat drifts toward a barricade, slipping out of sight into a storm drain. Frightened at the thought of losing it, Georgie runs to the drain, peering inside. From the shadows, two glowing yellow eyes slowly appear. They belong to Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Speaking in a playful, almost cheerful tone, Pennywise chats with Georgie, and then offers him his boat back. Nervous but tempted, Georgie reaches forward. In that instant, Pennywise reveals his true nature. The boy screams in pain, crying out for his brother. Within seconds, Pennywise drags Georgie into the sewers, vanishing into the darkness below. 8 months later, June 1989. We meet Mike Hanlon, who is being pressured by his stern grandfather Leroy to slaughter a sheep using a nail gun. As Mike hesitates, Leroy delivers a harsh lecture on survival before carrying out the act himself. Meanwhile, it's the last day of school. Bill Denbrough and his close friends, Richie Tozier, Eddie Kasprack, and Stanley Uris, better known as the Losers Club, are eager to begin their summer break. But their excitement is cut short when they cross paths with Henry Bowers, the school's vicious bully. Henry mocks the boys, but Bill fires back, telling him he sucks. Enraged, Henry moves in on Bill, only to freeze when he notices his father, Officer Bowers. He licks his palm and smears the spit across Bill's face. Elsewhere, Beverly Marsh smokes quietly in the school bathroom. A group of cruel girls, led by Greta, barge in, taunting Beverly and accusing her of being promiscuous. One girl fills a trash bag with water and dumps it on her, but Beverly shields herself with her book, refusing to give them the satisfaction. On her way out, Beverly encounters the new kid, Ben Hanscom. Shy and overweight, Ben is often targeted by bullies and has no friends. Beverly kindly signs his yearbook, and in that small moment, Ben begins to develop a quiet crush on her. Later, when Bill returns home, he's confronted by his father, Zach. Bill has been building a model of Derry's sewer system, still convinced that Georgie might be alive. But his father grows angry, insisting that Georgie is dead, and demands that Bill stop chasing false hope. Mike goes to the butcher shop to drop off a delivery. In the alley behind the building, he hears screams and banging from a metal door. Suddenly, the door opens. Mike then sees Pennywise hiding in the dark. Just as the clown starts moving, Henry Bowers and his gang speed by in their car, nearly hitting him. Mike takes the chance to run away. At the synagogue, Stan is studying for his bar mitzvah. In his father's office, he keeps staring at a painting of a woman with a twisted face. The painting falls to the floor, and when he picks it up, the woman is no longer there. He slowly turns around, only to see the same woman standing right behind him, smiling with sharp fangs. Stan screams and runs. At the library, Ben is looking up the history of Derry. He finds old news stories that show children have been disappearing in the town for hundreds of years. One of the books shows a drawing of Pennywise and even an image of a boy's severed head hanging from a tree. While reading, Ben hears noises coming from the basement. He goes down to check and sees the headless boy walking toward him. Suddenly, Pennywise appears and chases Ben until he escapes. On his way home, Ben is cornered by Henry Bowers and his gang. They hold him against the railing of a bridge. Patrick takes out a lighter and bug spray, planning to burn him, while Henry pulls out a knife. Henry says he's going to carve his name into Ben's stomach. As this happens, an old couple drives by. They see the attack, but don't stop to help. A red balloon floats nearby, showing that Pennywise is watching. Ben kicks him hard and breaks free. He tumbles over the side of the bridge and scrambles into the woods. The bullies chase after him. At the same time, Bill has convinced his friends to help him search the sewers for Georgie. As they're walking near the water, Ben stumbles out, badly hurt. The boys quickly pull him out and take him with them. Meanwhile, Patrick goes into the sewers alone, still looking for Ben. Inside, he hears strange noises and sees the twisted shapes of ghostly children. Terrified, he runs deeper until he reaches a dead end. The clown lunges forward and devours Patrick. The boys head to the pharmacy to buy cotton balls and bandages for Ben's wounds, but they don't have enough money. At the same time, Beverly's there buying tampons. She notices the boys struggling and steps in to help. Beverly distracts the pharmacist, Mr. Keene, by pretending to flirt with him. He acts like a creep toward her, but she keeps his attention long enough for the boys to grab the supplies. Outside, she meets up with the group and sees them caring for Ben. Later, Beverly returns home. Her father immediately starts acting in a disturbing way, making her uncomfortable. Scared, she locks herself in the bathroom and breaks down, crying. To take control, she grabs scissors and cuts her hair short. Meanwhile, the boys, now joined by Ben, go to the quarry. They all stand at the edge of the cliff, daring each other to jump into the lake. Nobody wants to go first, until Beverly suddenly runs forward and leaps in. Inspired, the rest of the boys follow. They spend the afternoon swimming, laughing, and enjoying themselves. Afterwards, while relaxing by the water, Ben shares what he discovered about Derry's dark history. The strange disappearances of children that have happened for generations. Eddie is walking home when he passes the abandoned house on Neibold Street. Out of nowhere, a diseased-looking leper comes after him. Eddie panics and runs through the yard. As he reaches the fence, he sees Pennywise standing there, trying to lure him closer. Terrified, Eddie squeezes under the fence and escapes. Meanwhile, Beverly sits in her bathroom, holding a postcard with a sweet poem written by a secret admirer. She believes it's from Bill, though it was really Ben who wrote it. Suddenly, Beverly hears the faint voices of children coming from her bathroom sink. She leans closer, and clumps of hair shoot out of the drain, wrapping tightly around her. A massive spray of blood then explodes from the sink, covering the entire bathroom. Screaming, Beverly tries to call her father, but when he walks in, he doesn't see the blood at all. He only comments on her short haircut, saying she looks like a boy. Elsewhere, Bill is at home when he spots what looks like Georgie running through the hallway. Stunned, he follows him into the basement, which is now flooded with water. Georgie appears and tells Bill, "We all float down here. You'll float too." His voice grows louder and more disturbing as he repeats the phrase, until his body begins to rot and fall apart. From the water, Pennywise suddenly rises and lunges at Bill, who barely manages to escape. The next day, the group is out riding their bikes when they spot Mike's bike near the creek, along with Henry Bowers' car. They rush over and see Henry and his gang harassing Mike for being black. Beverly quickly grabs a rock and throws it at Henry's head. This sparks a full-on rock fight between the losers and the bullies. Henry is knocked to the ground, unconscious. As the kids walk away with Mike, Bill talks about what he saw in his basement. Eddie admits that he also saw a Pennywise, and Mike shares his own experience, revealing how his parents died when racists burned down their house. Richie is the only one who hasn't had a vision, but he admits that clowns terrify him the most. The kids gather in Bill's garage to study a map of Derry. They notice that all of the town's sewers connect to the old house on Neibold Street. They realize this must be where Pennywise lives. Suddenly, the projector switches on by itself. At first, it shows family photos of Bill and Georgie with their parents, but the mother's face slowly changes into Pennywise. The kids panic and knock the projector over, but it keeps running. The images flip faster and faster until Pennywise's giant form bursts out of the screen, trying to grab them. The group screams and forces their way out of the garage. Determined to fight back, the losers head to the Neibold house. Bill, Richie, and Eddie go inside. Richie sees a missing poster with his own face on it and panics, but Bill reminds him it's only a trick. Suddenly, Eddie gets separated from the group and comes face to face with Pennywise. He falls through a broken floor and crashes into the kitchen, snapping his arm. Richie finds himself trapped in a room filled with clown dolls. In the middle sits a coffin with his name on it. When he opens it, he finds a dummy version of himself inside. Horrified, he slams it shut, only for Pennywise to leap out and lunge at him. Richie bolts out of the room, escaping by inches. Back in the kitchen, Pennywise towers over Eddie, preparing to kill him. Meanwhile, Bill and Richie try to reach him through a hallway with 3 doors. They open the first door and see a boy hanging in midair. Richie closes the door and panics, but Bill reminds him that it's not real. They open the door again. Just in time, Bill and Richie rush in to protect their friend. Beverly suddenly arrives, driving a spear straight through Pennywise's head. The monster screams in rage before retreating into the shadows. Afterwards, Eddie's mother sees his broken arm and forbids him from spending time with the losers anymore. Tensions grow in the group. Richie explodes at Bill, saying that his obsession with Georgie nearly got them all killed. The fight causes the losers to split apart, each going their own way in fear. By August, the kids are trying to live normal lives again. Eddie goes to the pharmacy for his asthma medication. There, Greta, the mean girl from earlier, tells him that his medicine is just a placebo. She mocks him further by writing the word loser across his arm cast. Henry hangs out with Vic and Belch, messing around with his dad's gun. He orders Belch to grab a cat so he can shoot it, but before they can, Officer Bauer shows up and takes the gun away. To humiliate Henry, he fires bullets into the ground around his son's feet, exposing him as a coward in front of his friends. Henry finds a red balloon tied to his mailbox. Inside, there's a knife, clearly sent by Pennywise. He walks into the house, where his father has passed out in front of the TV. On the screen, showing a smiling woman with kids who all chant at Henry to kill him. Without hesitation, Henry stabs his father in the neck, watching him bleed out. The kids on the TV, Pennywise's victims, begin screaming louder and louder, "Kill them all! Kill them all!" Across town, Beverly faces her own nightmare. Her father tries to act on his twisted desires, cornering her in the house. Beverly fights back and locks herself in the bathroom. When he breaks in, she smashes him in the head with a toilet lid, killing him. But before she can escape, Pennywise appears. He lunges at her and drags her away. Bill later visits Beverly's house and finds her father's body in the bathroom. On the wall, written in blood, are the words, "You'll die if you try." Realizing Pennywise has taken Beverly, Bill rushes to gather the group again. When they go to get Eddie, his mother forbids him from leaving, but Eddie finally stands up to her. He reveals he knows his medicine has always been fake. Defiant, he storms out and rejoins his friends. Together, the losers return to the Neibold house, where they find the well that leads into Pennywise's lair. They climb down one by one, but before Mike can descend, Henry suddenly appears and attacks him. Henry hauls the rope up, trying to trap the boys below, and aims the nail gun at Mike. The two struggle fiercely until Mike manages to push Henry into the well, sending him falling to what looks like his death. Deeper inside, the losers continue on when Stan is suddenly ambushed. Pennywise takes the form of the twisted woman from the painting and sinks her teeth into his head. Stan screams in terror until the others fight Pennywise off. Shaken and horrified, Stan breaks down as his friends gather around to comfort him. The losers descend deeper into the well and into its lair. The cavern is a nightmare, walls covered in twisted remnants of the missing children. Among them is Beverly. She floats lifeless, eyes glazed, trapped in the trance. The boys fight to pull her down, and when Ben finally reaches her, he hugs her. The hug cuts through the darkness, shattering its grip, and Bev gasps back to life. Then, a shadow moves. From the darkness steps Georgie, his voice trembling as he whispers that he missed Bill, that he's been waiting for his brother to come. Bill's eyes fill with tears. He embraces him, holding on as if he could will him back to life. But deep down, he knows. This isn't Georgie, it's it. With shaking hands, Bill raises the bolt gun and whispers goodbye before pulling the trigger. Georgie's small body convulses, collapsing into the dirt, only to twist, stretch, and morph into Pennywise the Dancing Clown. The monster attacks with everything it has, lashing out in fury. One by one, the losers fight back. But soon, Pennywise has Bill pinned, offering the others a cruel bargain. Leave now and live. Or die here, with him. Bill, choking under Pennywise's grip, begs his friends to go. But Richie steps forward first, his voice cracking with anger. Not this time! The losers explode with rage, beating Pennywise back blow after blow. Each strike weakens him, each scream stripping away the power of fear. For the first time, the clown is afraid. Cracks split across Pennywise's skull as Bill prepares to finish him once and for all. But before the final strike lands, the creature retreats, tumbling into the abyss, swallowed by darkness. The chamber falls silent. Above them, the children it had stolen float down gently to the ground, free at last. Bill stumbles forward. In the rubble, he finds Georgie's raincoat. The truth hits harder than any monster ever could. His brother is gone. This time, for real. Bill clutches the coat and breaks down, as his friends surround him in a silent embrace. September comes. The losers gather once more, cutting their palms to form a blood oath. They swear, if it ever returns, so will they, bound by something stronger than fear. One by one, the group drifts apart, until only Bill and Beverly remain. She tells him she's leaving for Portland. As she starts to walk away, Ben runs to her and softly says, "Take care of yourself." She gives him a faint smile, one final spark of light, before the shadows of Derry close in again. End of Chapter 1. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. See you in the next.